Hello and welcome to another episode of the Top 3 Pen series. My name is Appelboom and every Monday we post a new video about the personal top 3 pens of penfluencers. If you don't want to miss out on the videos, subscribe to our YouTube channel now. Today we're taking a look at the top 3 of Marley, who runs her own YouTube channel under the name Heldin Writes. There she reviews her pen collection and her favorite inks, and nearly every Sunday is Journal With Me Sunday. In total, she has created more than 200 videos so far, so her channel is definitely worth checking out. In case you are wondering how she pronounces my name so perfectly, Marley happens to be a fellow Dutchie. Marley's top 3 consists of long-term pens, pens that have been in her collection for years and are used frequently. They also have great stories behind them. Enjoy this top 3 video and make sure you check the Heldin Writes channel when you're done.
Hi everyone, I'm Marley, also known as Heldin Writes on YouTube. I make videos about fountain pens and also about journaling, and today I'm on the Appelboom channel to show you my 3 favorite pens. Thank you Appelboom for letting me do this. It's been both a blessing and a curse because it was so hard to find 3 pens that I wanted to talk about. Not because I don't have pens to talk about, but I have many pens to talk about. And also I'm kind of cheating a little bit because I'm starting with an honorable mention. That is not actually in the top 3. Maybe this is more of a top 4, but I just want to show you this pen because it is special to me, but it's not one that I actually pull out of my collection a lot to write with, so I didn't want to put it in the top 3. But yeah. Okay, first pen, the honorable mention is a Waterman pen, and it is specifically a Waterman apostrophe, which is a pen from the 90s, I believe, with a steel nib. And this pen gets an honorable mention because it is one of the pens that set me on my path of becoming a fountain pen user and collector. My grandfather gifted it to me. I believe he got it as a business gift of some sort. These were like in sets that were handed out in companies, and he gifted it to me and I used it throughout high school on and off. I didn't really get into the hobby then, but I did like using it and it sort of made me feel special. If that sounds normal, kind of sounds weird, but I liked it a lot, and it really started my love for fountain pens, even though I didn't go full out into the hobby. What I also still like about this pen is that it's seen a lot of use. Right now, I have a lot of pens in my collection, and because I have a lot of pens, I tend to switch a lot between the pens I use. That means that not every pen gets the love it deserves. So this pen was really loved. It is still loved, not used that much anymore, but yeah, honorable mention to the Waterman apostrophe and to my grandfather, I guess. Let us go to the first one on the top 3 list. This list is in no particular order. It's just, I love them all. I want to start with a pen that really got its claws in me. And this is a Lamy 2000. Now I know Lamy 2000 is for many people the starter gold nib pen, and for me it was the same way. I really loved this pen when I got it, and I still love it. It was my first gold nib pen, and it sparked some sort of obsession within me. I must admit, this one is not the first one I bought. This is actually probably the 4th one I bought. It is a vintage version of a Lamy 2000, and I bought it on eBay for a good price. I always love to hunt eBay for good prices, and this specific Lamy 2000 has some really nice details, and that makes it really special to me. It has some history, so it's both my first gold nib pen that writes amazingly smoothly, and then it has the historical details. The historical details are the L on the piston knob for Lamy, and then on the cap, where the cap band could be, there's no actual cap band, it's just Macrolon, it says W Germany, and that means that this is an example of a Lamy 2000 from before the fall of the wall. And yeah, it looks like any other Lamy 2000. It's a little bit more shiny, but that happens with use, and it just really grabbed my heart. At some point, I actually had 4 Lamy 2000, so this was the 4th. At that point, I was like, maybe I should like get rid of some. I gave one to my fiance. He wasn't my fiance back then, we were dating. But this means that in this household, there are still 4 Lamy 2000s. And I don't think we'll ever get rid of any of them because they're good writers. One of them is the stainless steel version. And yeah, it really, really got me going into that hobby and also into the spending mode. But that's a different story. But yeah, Lamy 2000, lovely pen. If anyone's on the fence about buying this one, I would say go for it. It's great. Then the next one is a Pelican, and specifically a Pelican M200. And this Pelican is a vintage M200 in blue marble. Even has the nib size sticker still on there. And this pen is special to me because I bought it at my first pen show ever that I attended. And it's also special to me because it's my first Pelican. So I went to a pen show in the Netherlands. I'm originally from there. And I went to Tilburg a couple of years ago, and it was just an amazing experience. It was overwhelming, but also I felt like I was with my own people, the fountain pen people. And I browsed and I browsed, and I had a certain budget set, and I really didn't know what I wanted to get. And then I talked to this man, someone else was looking at this pen, writing with it, and I was like, oh, that blue marble is so pretty, it's so pretty. And he was like, well, I'm holding it for this person who tried to write with it, but if it's still there in like an hour, you can come and buy it. So I walked around a little more, had some food, and then I went back, and luckily it was still there. And this pen was always a really great writer. It came, of course, with a steel nib. It's an M200. They always come with steel nibs. But at some point I was like, it's worth it to replace the nib. So you can buy separate 14K gold nibs for these pens. And that is what it's on here now. The 14K nib on this pen is the one nib, the ultra Pelican nib. It is the nicest Pelican nib I've ever used, and also made this pen so much fun to write with. So this pen and this visit to this pen show really sparked my love for Pelican. And I believe right now I have 14 Pelicans in my collection, something like that. Half of them are vintage, half of them are new. But yeah, this experience at the pen show really sparked that love for me. So I'm really, really happy that it's still in my collection and that I can show you this pen because it is special to me. And I hope we can go to many more pen shows soon, because it would be great if everyone could have an experience like that. Another thing about this pen is that it also has like a piece of history because it's older. It's a vintage one. It has the chicks on the end there. Probably won't focus. And I love the old style cap of the M200. Anyway, let us move on to the last pen. And the last pen is kind of, well, it's not controversial for me, but it is a pen that when I first wrote with it, didn't immediately love. So that's kind of strange maybe, but let's just talk about what it is. And the last pen is the Pilot Custom 823. And this pen kind of has a special story for me because I didn't really love it when I first got it. I thought it was too big and I couldn't really write with it the way I wanted to write with it. I got it because my fiance, who's also a pen person, was completely obsessed with this pen. It is his favorite pen. It was his favorite pen. It will always be his favorite pen. He just loves the way it writes, the way it looks, and how perfectly balanced it is. And he kept talking about, oh, this pen is the perfect balance and I love it so much. And at that point in my fountain pen collection situation, I wasn't really thinking about how his hands might be bigger than my hands, but his hands are bigger than my hands. But like, I was so like convinced that I would also love this pen that I bought it. Took me a while to get to the decision because it's an expensive pen and I had to get it from Japan. At that point, there were no real retailers that were selling it in the Netherlands. It's been a while. And yeah, it was a really big purchase. but I did it and I got excited about it. I had my fiance on the phone, even took a picture of me clicking the button, the buy it now button. And it was a really big deal for me. And then I got it and I was like, is this it? Is this really what the 823 is? It wasn't balanced for me. I didn't really love it. At that point, I wasn't really used to using fountain pens that were on the bigger side. I appreciated the way it looked. Don't get me wrong. It is a lovely pen to look at, but I just didn't know how to write with it. In addition to that, I thought it was kind of a dry pen, like it had a dry writing experience. I've been using it on and off over the years. I've also started using bigger pens, like a Pelican M200 is a bigger pen, and I do see how it can be really nice to use a bigger pen. I have started to appreciate this pen more and more. And I've come to a point where I can say I really love this pen. I did have to do some, I wouldn't say maintenance, but I disassembled it, and the Pilot Custom 823 is a vac filler, and it has a shut-off valve. So if you close this knob, like you screw it in, the ink flow is cut off from the nib. Now, I thought the ink flow wasn't great, and I wanted it to be better, so I took off the shut-off valve thingy, and now I love it. I still keep the piston knob open, but the flow is great, and now I just love using it. I started to fall in love with the pen that I didn't like at first. I actually thought about getting rid of it, but I'm glad I didn't, because now I really love it. And I love the story behind it. Like, my fiance got me onto this pen. He loves it so much. Like, it's a good story and a good experience overall. And it has taught me to not judge too quickly, because something you once didn't love as much can turn into something you love. Anyway, yeah, that's the Pilot Custom 823. And that is my top 3. It was really, really hard, you guys, to find a top 3 for this video. I have so many pens that I love, and I do realize that a lot of my loves are pens that I just got in. Like, I get excited about a pen and like, oh, this is the best pen ever, when I just get it. And I didn't want to do those pens. I wanted to pick something really that has been in my collection for quite some time and that have stories behind them. So I think these 3 pens really do have that. There were many contenders, but these 3, I think, are the best examples of the top 3 for me. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you again, Appelboom, for letting me be on your channel, and maybe I'll see you viewers some other time. Thank you again. Bye-bye.